Hi, this is Susene Leao, and may I ask you a question? What would be a word that defined for you what this year is going to be for you? I'll mention to you what I have come to be the word that defined 2026 because it was the year that I started making decisions to make these videos and commit myself on a daily basis to make videos, upload videos, and post them on YouTube to describe what this year is going to be for me. So, the word that came to mind that really makes a whole world of difference is the word alignment. And I have thought over the last couple of weeks, last month in January, and this week, this month, February, and I figure out that what my direction is for this year, and I hope it will help you discover some specific instructions for your own journey in life. Like I said, I am 73 years old, and some of the things I'm doing right now is reflecting on my different decades of living, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and my 60s, and now I'm starting a new decade of the 70s. So there's a whole lot of different things that has come up, and I have tried to reconcile them or bring them into a place of a message that I can use to be able to communicate my own journey and the things that I struggle with to move forward. So the YouTube channel has been a real good tool to align what I hoped for and what I think the future is going to be for this year. So this year, I'm just taking it a year at a time. 2026 is an important year, but like many other years of the past, we have a vision and a dream for what the year is going to be, and then by the middle of the year, we forgot what it was like, or it has lost meaning and purpose. So the word alignment has come to my mind over and over again. I need to align. So what does the word alignment means? I'll give you some definitions of this word. It means a position of agreement. And that means an agreement, and I'll break it down for you as we go along in this video. But that's the first definition, is a position of agreement. And then the other one is arrangement in a straight line, which has the idea of putting everything in a straight line, and because life has a way of taking us here and there, and then we ended up on a detour, and we don't know how to come back to the detour because there's no guiding principle or guiding concept. And I discovered that this word alignment is really what I need to do. So there are the most important part in finding true alignment is finding your true north. And your true north is the overriding guideline or the overriding truth and reality that is going to be there. Every time you go away, you look for the true north, and you come back to the true north, and everything happens. So your true north, I don't know for you, but I have discovered this. My true north is in God. God is the ultimate true north because it is where I get my true worth, my value, and I am not what I do. I am not what I try to make. I am who I am in Him. I am a child of God. I'm loved not because of what I can do. I am loved not because of what I bring to Him. I am loved because of what He brings to me, and I'm secure in that. So true alignment has to do with finding your true north. I don't know what your true north is, but it might be a guiding principle or a principle that you have always found to be a place where you gain a new strength, gain new direction, and gain motivation to move forward with what you have set up to do. So finding your true north is very important, and finding a true north will help us in our personal life, in our family life, in our work life, and in our social life. I'll address these four areas because I think all of us at a certain age, we have gone through so many decades of living, and we have also gone through decades of experiences and life itself. In my 50s, I went through a divorce after 24 years of marriage, and so that decade was filled with trying to make up for my mistake, and as well as trying to find new meaning, because when you go through a divorce, you have really, I was married to my ex for 24 years. We had a great marriage, had fun and great excitement. We traveled the world and experienced building and creating new things. She was a good friend and a good partner. And then I went through a divorce through my own mistakes and ignorance, and our interests were going two different directions, and we ended up having a divorce. And so it was when I look at my 50s, I look at that was the entry point into disappointments, having to live again with the old way of living and trying to find myself in the midst of all the chaos that took place. So it engaged your social life. It also engaged having to find a new girlfriend, a new person in my life that now becomes my wife, and having to go on in the process of letting go of all the dreams and the mistakes and the regrets of a failure as it looked like in the past. So that was that. And then of course that came with a very big price tag of having to deal with my children, because I had 3 boys who decided to go and live with their mom in Hawaii. And I was left alone here in the United States. I lived in Florida at the time, and having to deal with facing all of the people that I used to know before, knowing that I have a broken marriage. So that was that, and then it was time to go back to God and ask Him for His grace, receive His grace into my life, and then having to start a whole new life again with a new person, a new girlfriend and a new wife, which is, I'm very grateful for that. So your family, your children, your work, and then your social life. The social life has a lot to do with the groups of people or a community around you that will always be there for you. I made a mistake when I was going through my divorce. I retreated from everything, and I became isolated, and I lost the camaraderie of people that I used to associate with in the church. One of the things that was very helpful in my journey was I knew that if I knew God, I need to be His son. And then I always needed to have a place where I can go and give of myself, because it was a lonely time, very lonely time. And that loneliness can destroy us. But having a place of fellowship, a place where I can go and talk to other people, and your social life has to do with that. It also includes the friends that you keep in your circle of influence, people you look up to and people you consider to be your best friends. So I must admit that I lost quite a lot of that. But it's not the end of the road. It was the beginning of a new journey. The most important thing with the True North is it brought me to the place where I realized that there was a lot of activities that took place in my mind, in my spirit, and then in my body. So having to bring all of them together because they were out of line. You know, the idea of alignment is you take your car into the place, into the garage, and they go through the tire pressures, and they try to make sure that all the tires are having the same amount of air in each tire. And I also found out that if you have one of the tires or two of the four tires that are out of line, you lose gas, and the car can also experience difficulty in the alignment of the body of the car. So we need to bring all of those four tires into alignment, and those four tires will also enhance the mileage that we get out of driving a car. And so that's very important. And if it's important in our transportation vehicles, more important in us, because we have a body, we have a mind, we have a spirit, and we have the things that we see, and all of those things need to be aligned to what is important. It's very easy to lose focus and lose direction, and then we go into a different direction. And so I have discovered and I have noticed that I needed to have alignment in this year, 2026. And part of that alignment is, number one, to take care of my body, take care of my spirit, and bring my spirit into a place of alignment to the God that I knew from the videos that I produced before. I talk about the experience I had when I was first introduced to an encounter with God. And that stayed with me throughout my life. That's my true north. And it's important for you and I to have a true north. And if you don't have a true north in your life, it's very easy to go out of alignment. Very easy, because we don't have that foundation to pull us forward and to cause the other part that is out of line to be noticed. That's very important, is to be noticed. Alignment is a word for this year, 2026, for me. It's a word that speaks of everything. It speaks of me when I wake up in the morning. I know I need to produce 1 or 2 videos every day. And that's my commitment for the rest of this year for YouTube, for my YouTube channel. And by the way, if you find value in this video, please follow me. And by subscribing to my channel and and share this video with your friends so more people can be introduced to these ideas and encouragement to get them to move forward. One thing I know in choosing the word alignment for this year 2026 is it's important that we let go of all what we consider to be our failures. Because your failures and my failures bringing into the future is not a good thing. It can take away our energy, our strength, and our focus, and it can cause the balance of alignment as we move forward to the next step. So sit down and write these down for yourself. Find your true north. What is your really true north? It doesn't have to be God. But for me, I can't see anything that I can do in my life without my true north. And my true north is I always come back to something that doesn't move. It stays the same. So God is that foundation for me. So my true north is that. Make sure you are set up to have a foundation. Maybe something that you believe in, maybe something that your parents have taught to you, maybe something you learned in your last couple of years, last few decades, that has brought you so far safely in this point of your life. The second thing in doing your true north is identify where in your life has being the misalignment on getting your life productive and getting your life to doing things that are important with you. That means to have a purpose and a plan, and the plan that is written down in 3 or 4 steps, just 2 or 3 or 4 steps, that is easier to navigate. You know, with the complication of vehicles these days, it's very easy to see that with all the sophistication of whether it's a Mercedes or whether it's a Toyota or whatever made that you have, it's based on these principles. 4 tires that are aligned with each other in order for you to go from one place to another. And and when one is not aligned, we know that we will not have the benefit of what the engine can give us. So we take the vehicle to a garage and to a tire place, and they set it up. They measure the pressure of tires, and then they sometimes they rearrange the tires and they remove the front tires to the back and the back tires to the front, or change side. That is part of alignment. You go and rearranged and you review those four pieces, because the true alignment will put you in a place where you can know you are a person, and you have your body, you have your mind, you have your spirit. And if one of those things is out of whack, the vehicle, which is us, is not able to produce the right amount of energy and the right amount of thrust towards the future. So if you find any value in this, please follow me. I'm always producing videos every week, and 3 or 4, 5 videos every week, and post it on YouTube so that you can come back for some encouragement and for things that can help in our conversation and dialogue to move you and I forward. And it's a very interesting process, very good process, and it's based on what we know. I'm going to make a few videos on this as follow-up on this so that we can all benefit from that. I can benefit from this myself as I'm reviewing the materials that I prepared to make this video with. I'm amazed at how much it also speaks to me, and I hope it speaks to you and in your life. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for coming back again. Okay, this is Sosenile out. Bye-bye for now.